My name is Daryl Long. I'm the producer on Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is the first Far Cry game where once you're into the game, you can truly go in any direction. But we really wanted to remove any of the barriers of immersion for the player and allow them to tell their own story in the open world. So in Far Cry 5, you go into the game and you progress. You know, in previous Far Cry games, you would climb a tower, it would show some icons on your map, but not in Far Cry 5. In this one, you progress the game by talking to people. You go into the world and you don't have like a set objective other than stop the cult. Instead, you go talk to people. You talk to the civilians that already live there, the people from Hope County. Some of them, you know, they've seen things. They've seen the cult, or they know someone who's been taken by the cult. You go talk to them, they'll give you information about the cult activities. And this can lead you to things that will help you build your resistance and fight back against the cult. Well, it's about providing more opportunities for the players. You know, player expression is at the core of what we do. People are really familiar with Far Cry that it's got solid, like, first-person immersion. You know, the way you move through the world, the way you hold the weapons, all these things, they're all geared to make sure that you feel like it's your hands in the game. So we also want to make sure that you have the ability to solve problems in your own way. And that's really the way we design the game. We look at each outpost, each mission, each open world activity as a challenge. We pose you a problem, and it's up to you as a player to figure out how to solve it using the tools that we provided for you. So whether you go in long range, whether you go plant a C4 on a bear and then get the bear to run into an outpost, or whatever it is you choose to do, you invite in a co-op friend. These are different ways to solve the problems that the game is posing you. I would say it's pretty significant in this case. Your guns for hire, your AI companions, are people that can help you when you get into trouble. But we wanted to make sure that they weren't all one flavor. You know, they're all very, very different, both from how they play and how they act. So you have a strategic choice. You have guns for hire that run the whole span of different gameplay strategies, whether you want someone like Grace, who's a long-range sniper, or you want someone like Herc, who's just stupid and loud and hilarious at your side, but he's got an RPG and he's great against vehicles and moving targets. So you choose, based on the situation you see in front of you, which choices you're going to make with your guns for hire, because you can have two in your squad. So mixing them together can really change the game as well. Well, we want to make sure that players are having an experience where they feel that the world is an opportunity, not a blocker. So if you were constantly being attacked every time you take a step forward and you can never get anywhere, that obviously would be too much. So we really make sure that our players feel that they're having opportunities presented to them and that the game is always surprising you. Finding the right mix of you're driving down the road, you see someone by the side of the road that needs your help and you want to go help them, because they're going to offer something to you or because you know that it's going to help you build your resistance. You go down to help them, next thing you know, you get attacked by a skunk. You know, and just finding that right mix of different opportunities. And then that person, when you finally save them, they'll give you intel about the cult's activities that will lead you to new activities. Definitely. I mean, we went to Montana when we started the development of the game, and there's been multiple trips back there to, make sure we're really hitting the right tone, the right feeling of the kind of flora and fauna that already exists in Montana. So recreating that believably has been really important to us. And honestly, it's been really rewarding to get feedback from people who actually grew up in Montana, and they'll say like, wow, this feels like home. Definitely the hardest thing is building a game where you can go in any direction and talk to any character. I mean, we have over 60 characters in the game. So we don't know as developers who you're going to go talk to first, and then how you're going to move between the three regions, how you're going to build the resistance in each region. We have no idea. Trying to inject a story that's coherent into all that was a huge challenge, but I think the guys nailed it. I mean, it's really interesting to see how you, as a player, are driving forward the story. You're the one who sets the pace, the cadence of the story and how it unfolds. It's constant, especially in co-op, when people start doing things using the tools that we provide in different ways. A good example would be, I didn't know that you could use the grapple to hook onto the bottom of a helicopter until I saw some players doing it. So I decided to try it, and then I realized you can actually attack a helicopter by hooking your grapple onto it and using that to take it down. But also people like to, when you're playing co-op, one player will be taking off in the helicopter, the other will hook onto it and just go along for the ride like it's a stunt movie. I mean, players are always combining the tools in different ways. Maybe a little less friendly, but I also didn't know you could light your guns for hire on fire. Well, one of the big things is in the development of the guns for hire, we had to create a whole bunch of new behaviors to make sure that they are responding to the player and that they can, play like another player with you. So the AI enemies have benefited from that a lot as well. So they make better decisions than before. They're smarter than ever before. And that also makes them a bit more difficult than before in many cases. But the game also reacts to how you play. It's not just one AI type with one AI strategy. As you advance through the game, as you effectively piss off the cultists, they come after you harder with new troops, with new strategies. So the AI is actually reacting to you as you play and becoming more difficult. Oh man. So adding in air travel, like the ability to fly helicopters and planes, has really changed things a lot because it's a whole, it really is the third dimension of being able to play the game. So, people are doing all kinds of unexpected things with that. You get people who will fly into an outpost in a plane that's tricked out with guns and bombs. They'll use up all their ammo in the plane, and then they'll just jump out of the plane, wingsuit down into the outpost and attack the rest of it on foot. And people are doing things that we never thought were possible. Actually, I think we're all about giving the player too much power. There's a huge suite of different tools you can use, and players, they find the right balance for themselves. They set their own objectives. You have all these tools available. You can be really strong. You can use perks to upgrade your character and become even stronger. You can use 1 or 2 guns for hire or invite in a friend. And really, people find their own balance of the challenge that they want. And what we've seen in our playtests and by having people play the game is that they make their own choice of, okay, for this outpost, you know what? I'm going to try and do it all by myself first with no help from anybody and see what happens. And when they have trouble, they start calling in guns for hire. They call in a co-op buddy, and they're setting their own difficulty. And if they really find that the game isn't hard enough, then they just play it in hard.